everyone, it's me, Gamer, and in this video, we're going to look at how to create a perfectly working laser door in Minecraft 1.17.1, the latest version. Basically, I'm going to teach you how to build this thing. Now, this is a perfectly working laser door, and it has two entrances. On one entrance, we have a lever, which we can use to either activate or deactivate the laser door as necessary. So as you can see, when we activate it, it has these deadly looking red lasers, which will burn you if you touch them, so we should not get close to them. But if we turn off the laser door, we should be able to walk through it just fine, which is what we're seeing right now. But let's see what happens when we activate the laser door. So those deadly lasers are on, and if we touch a single laser, we're gonna be killed. We're just gonna be fried. And as you can see, we just died. This is a high security laser door that we can build in Minecraft, the latest version, and I will show you how to do it. Let's take a look at the materials needed to build this laser door. So let's open up our inventory, and as you can see, we have a whole assortment of items ready for our usage. So we have a sticky piston, a player head, smooth quartz stairs, a beacon, the lasers from which we just saw right here, a block of iron, a grass block, a smooth quartz slab, a redstone repeater, a redstone comparator, a smooth quartz block, a redstone dust, red stained glass, dirt, a lever, a redstone torch, a sea lantern, a command block, and a heavy weighted pressure plate, and last but not least, an iron door. So already we can kind of see how all of these fit in together, like all of the slabs and stairs and blocks we used for decoration, for the edges and such of the structure, and for the interior, and for the floors, and for the doors, and for the entrances, and all of that. And yes, the sea lantern lights the entrance to the door. Here are the lasers that stick out of the ceiling, and I have to tell you one thing about these lasers. If you touch them outside of the laser door, you won't get killed. That is because you can only get killed within the boundaries of this corridor. So if you touch them here, you will die. Another thing I need to tell you about these lasers is that whenever you touch one and die, if you respawn fast enough, you can see that the lasers seem to be off for a few seconds. I will show you that in action right now. So we're dead, and we can see that the lasers were just for a few moments seemingly off, but that's not true. In reality, they're still there, but the reason this happens is that whenever you die, the laser entities sort of reset their display, and for a second, they disappear. But in reality, they will still kill you if you try to pass through, so don't worry about that. So now, why don't we get started on how to build this laser door. So here I have set up the boundaries to the laser door and the center from which the lasers are protruding right here. So right now, what we're going to need is the beacon, the iron block, the red stained glass, the sticky piston, and the smooth quartz slab. So as we can see, here we have the lasers. Well, what's going to be the lasers. So now let's dig this hole, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks deep. Now, on the 5th block, we are going to dig out a 3x4 area, which is going to be protruding slightly more inside the dirt. And we're going to fill this space with the iron blocks. This is going to be what powers the beacons. So now, on top of these, we're going to be putting the beacons. And after a few seconds, they're going to be powered up and ready to go. Now we need to put on top of those the red stained glass. Then we can stimulate a quartz block with 2 slabs. So we're going to put a layer of blocks, and over here we're going to be putting the quartz slabs on the top layer of the dirt block. So not on the bottom, which is going to look like this, but on the top. So now our lasers are done, but now we just need to make the mechanism which activates them. So let's put some sticky pistons in the places where they should be dragging out and dragging in the quartz blocks. This is the second hole. So now the pistons are filled in. So now I have marked the place where exactly the lever is going to go. So as you can see, we have placed the lever, and if we go into the original laser door, this is going to be pretty similar to where this lever is now going to be. So now we're going to lead out a trail of redstone dust out towards the pistons so that we can use the lever to move them out and in. Great! As you can see, when we use the lever, the piston is going to move in the block and out the block, and the lasers are going to, therefore, be activated at certain times. So now, we're going to make a similar trail, which is going to lead out to the second sticky piston. we're going to have a lever on just one side, and it's going to power both, so we are going to need a redstone repeater for this case, because there are going to be far too many blocks to lead out the redstone. So, here's our path, and as you can see, if we use the lever, the redstone signal stops right around here. So we're going to need a repeater right here. And as you can see, now both of the pistons are activated, and whenever we deactivate the lever, we can use that to turn on and off the lasers. Great. The initial part of the mechanism is done. Let's get a recap on the boundaries. So the lever is actually 5 blocks away from the lasers, as you can see here, and it's raised 1 block up, and the corners of the boundaries indicate that this is a 14 by 20 block area. And we're building this 2 blocks away from the original laser door, so keep that in mind. But now we're going to need to do something drastic. We're going to reverse the way the lever reacts upon the pistons. As you know, whenever the lever was activated, it would then turn on the lasers. But in our new laser door, we have the opposite effect. When our lever is activated, the lasers disappear. So we're actually going to change this redstone path a little bit. And in this case, we're going to need a redstone torch to help us. So let's actually put a redstone torch right here, and above it, we're going to be putting a block. So we're putting it almost under the piston, but 1 block outwards, and putting a block on top. So now, the redstone torch is powering the piston instead. And whenever we use this redstone path, whenever we activate it, the redstone torch is going to get deactivated. But for that, we're going to need a little bit more wiggle room, so let's see what we can do. So we're going to lead this out slightly in a different way. We're going to have to be digging a few steps. And now we just have to destroy that block. And as we can see, we heard the sound of the redstone piston deactivating. And as you can see, the laser does appear whenever we activate the lever. And now we're just going to need to divide this path, and as you can see, now the signal stops even closer to the lever, because we had a bunch of more redstone dust over here now. So now we're going to be putting a repeater here. And as you can see, this is working. 1 laser pops up, and now we just need to do the other one. Not much is going to be happening here, since the main source of the redstone is down there. We're just going to have to get a few blocks more wiggle room, but other than that, I think we're fine. So we're going to put another redstone torch and a block on top. And the block actually, surprisingly, can lead the redstone signal from the redstone torch and out into the piston, which is kind of surprising. You might not have known that, but here's a bit of information.
Another one.
Oh,
Another one.
A little bit.
Another one. Another one.
And
another one. Another one.
So you're going to have to lead a bunch of more steps. And now, finally, as you can see, whenever we activate the lever, we actually get the lever to interact with the lasers in reverse. Now the lasers are activated. That's great. So now we can actually start filling in this corridor. So, as you can see, this block with the lever is the same as this block. And this block is a quartz block. So the blocks next to that are going to be sea lanterns. So as you can see, we're going to get a sea lantern, and we're going to start filling in those blocks. So, time lapse. Alright, we now actually have something that resembles our laser door. And now we can actually make the command block system that we can use to kill ourselves or any other player whenever they touch the laser. So for this, we are going to need our trusty redstone dust, our trusty comparator, and our command block. We are also going to need our grass block so that we can cover any unnecessary bits up. So we are now going to divide this redstone trail slightly. So now we've just divided this redstone trail because we're going to need to go to the depths of the ground so that the command block system is not detected by any keen eye. I think we could make that a little bit deeper. Yes, now we can actually cover up this with a grass block. And now all that's left to do is just dig out a tunnel for 2 command block systems. Alright, I think that's just fine. So now we need to place down the first command block. And this command block is going to be on repeat mode, but needs redstone mode. And we are going to copy in a command that is in the description below, which is going to target whether we are touching the lasers. So I've just copied and pasted the command, and now let's talk about what it means. So we're starting out with our statement called execute. And this is basically creating a special way to activate a command in a command block. Now we're executing this command as all players, so we're doing this command, or whatever it's doing, for all the players that are in this world. And we're executing this command at the nearest player. So the nearest player gets the effect, but all of the players could be targeted for the effect. And we're asking if the block tilde tilde 1 tilde 2 is Minecraft player head. So we're referencing these tildes to the player. And we're asking, is the block that's 1 block above the player and 2 blocks to the right of the player a Minecraft player head, which is just the player head. So now we know where we can use this player head. And I'm going to show you. So the first command block is targeting whether the block to the right of the right laser is a player head. And it's also 1 block above. So we're just going to put a player head right behind the sea lantern, which is at the laser. And now this command is going to always be active whenever we're activating the lever, and it's going to be seeking out whether we're touching the laser, supposedly, because we're really touching the player head. Or not even touching it, we're just detecting if we're next to it. Anyway, now for the second command block. We are going to be placing it after the comparator, which we're going to be placing right after the command block, and all of them are facing right. I mean, right for me, because I'm standing right here, and they're facing right. So they're just going to be facing this direction, and for you, they can be facing whatever direction they want. They just have to be facing the same direction, and they have to be going one after the other. So now for the second command block, this command block is just going to be an impulse needs redstone command block. However, for this command block, we're going to need the coordinates of the lasers in the laser door. Just remember, the blocks where the lasers are 5 blocks away from the lever, so they are these 2 right over here. So this one and that one. So let's write the coordinates down for this one. So let's open our debug screen and write down -46, 102, and 60. Okay, now we can remember that. So now, back at our command block, we're going to write the following command. /kill @p, which stands for nearest player. Then, right after @p, we're going to write an opening square bracket. Then we're going to write x equals our x coordinate, which is -46. Then we're going to have a comma. Then a y equals our y coordinate. And the z for the z coordinate. So z equals 60. And then a closing square bracket. So we just wrote down our coordinates that we wrote down in the chat earlier, but in the following format. And what this command does is it kills the nearest person to these coordinates. So it basically kills the nearest person to the lasers. So it should make sense that the person who touches the lasers will get killed, right? So now we're done with this command block, so let's just close out of it. And let's cover up all this area over here. And now you just need to do the exact same thing over in the next row that you have made. So I've already built this row over here. So we have the exact same commands over here in the exact same command blocks in the exact same fashion, except for one difference. In this command block, we have a slightly changed coordinate. So in this command block, we had z equals 60, but for this command block, this is z equals 59, which is the block right next to that one. So now these command blocks are targeting both of the blocks from which the lasers are protruding, and they will kill whoever is nearest to those lasers. So now we're done. So now let's cover everything up. And we're now finally ready to test out those lasers. We're going to walk forward the lasers. And as you can see, we just got killed. That is very good. We're getting killed by these lasers, and we just need to close up the entrance now. So as you can see, I used a lot of stairs and slabs on the left laser door, which was the first one I built. And you don't need to build all of this exactly, but it does make your laser door look pretty attractive as compared to just these solid block walls. But like, look at this, this is luxury right here. But I'm going to create a rough estimate of what it would look like. I mean, I'm probably going to copy everything down, so time lapse. There you have it, guys. We just built your very own laser door in Minecraft on the latest versions, and now all that's left to do is just replace these boundaries with regular plain old grass. And there you have it, guys. Your laser door is 3, 2, 1. Let's take one last look at the laser door we just built, and then we're going to talk about some of the techniques used to build the laser door. Amazing. Now the main thing that has pretty much dedicated us to build this laser door, perhaps other than the beacon and the command block, is the player head, which I'm holding in my hand right now. This player head is the thing we use to detect whether we are touching the lasers or not. And why did we use it? That is because to build this laser door, you're going to have to be in creative mode, because you have to use command blocks, and command blocks cannot be found in survival. And the reason we use the player head as the core of our laser door is because the player head does not exist anywhere in your Minecraft survival world. And this would be very useful, because for example, if you were mining and the block we picked to detect whether we're touching the laser or not was andesite, and you just so happened to meet it in a cave, then you would die, and that's not very cool. So therefore, we need to have a block that only exists in the game if you place it down, which is the player head. And of course, the command block. The command block was also an initial part in the mechanism of the laser door, allowing us to detect whether we were a few blocks away from the player head. Exactly a few. As weird as that sounds, because a few usually indicates that it's not an exact number. But anyway, all of the commands used in this video will be in the description below, and I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial on how to build your very own laser door in Minecraft. And just a few notes before we sign off. The first note being that you shouldn't build too many of these laser doors, because it's going to become very inconvenient. Because with one of them activated, if you pass through another corridor of another laser door, you're still going to get killed, even though the lasers weren't activated in this laser door. But the command was activated everywhere. The second note being is that you definitely do not have to build your laser door as it looks right now, because this is just plain decoration. All of these slabs and stairs and doors. I mean, you could literally just build the entire mechanism without any of the main structure, and that would be fine. Except you need walls, which is pretty much the only reason we built this, but also because it looks good. The third note being that beacons could be activated by all kinds of minerals, like emerald, diamond, gold, iron, or even netherite, but you should stick to iron because iron is the cheapest and most easy to find. And the last note being that you don't have to just kill anybody who passes through the lasers of your activated laser door. You could also clear their inventory, for example, as this is a security measure, and you could remove some valuable weapons from their inventory. To do this, simply find your command blocks and tweak the commands. And that, my friends, is the tutorial on how to build your own laser door on Minecraft's latest version, 1.17.1 in Minecraft. And this was eGamer with you. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. And as always, please be sure to like the video if you like this content, and be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you find out more updates about my new videos. And this was, of course, eGamer with you. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. And as always, peace out.